Yesterday is history, and history is miles away. So leave it all behind you, but let it always remind you of the day that love made history.
I moved to Coburg in March of 2009, and I came to Coburg Alliance because a friend from a small group that I was in Toronto had recommended this church. On my moving day, I had some men who had gathered together from Coburg Alliance Church to come help me with moving in. And that was when I first met Larry Silk, and we instantly connected, and then he brought his wife the next day and I met her, and that was really the beginnings of me getting to know this church and the people in this church. I just remember really liking the people were very warm and friendly, and I really liked the music. I just felt really welcome. I felt like there were people here I can connect with. There were lots of families with young children. There was a great children's program for my kids to get involved with, and so it was just a perfect fit for me. And there were other single moms, so I knew that that this was a good place for us to come. I started to get involved with a group of moms that met on I think a Friday morning, and those women all had small young children. I think one of them was even pregnant at the time. And so that group of women, as I got to know them, then I got to know their families, and that really helped me connect with more families in the church so that my kids could get more connected and get to know more kids. And so that really helped. And then what stemmed out of that was a social small group. We would go to somebody's house and have a meal, and just everybody all together, and kids were typically invited, and so I really got to know a lot of people through that and started to develop more intimate friendships from that group of people. Like after dinner, I would feel like, okay, let's crack open our Bibles, or let's talk about a book that we're reading, or let's talk about a topic of, of interest, and kind of dig deeper into our faith and get to know each other on a deeper level and grow in our faith together. So sort of discipleship, I guess, would be the word. And there was none of that. And so I was still craving that discipleship that you get out of being in a small group and growing in your faith. And so I joined a women's group that met on Fridays again. And that group was really interesting because there was somebody in the group who was very needy, and we ended up really pouring into her life and helping her in the situation that she was in. And that was a really good experience for me to see. I don't think I had ever seen a church community come together like that to really help another person who really needed a lot of help. And then I joined another group of couples that were primarily older than me by about 10 years, but I just felt a real connection with them, so that was a really good fit for me. And we met for quite some time, and I'm still close to a lot of those people, so that was a really good connection for me, that particular group. I think I grew a lot in that time, and we really dug deep in our faith, and I still have good relationships with those people. I've been in groups where it was all women, and I've been in groups where it was all couples and I was the only single person, and I think there's benefit to each one of those things, and you have to find a group where it fits for that time in your life and grow with those people at that time in your life. So having been a part of several small groups in the last 4 years and being in one currently has been vital. My life took a drastic change very recently in a very joyous way. I got married on April 6th, and lots of people from my life over the last 4 years in this community really rallied together to just create a beautiful, amazing wedding for my husband and I, and that was thanks to a lot of the people that have been part of my life because of those small groups. So that's been amazing. And so that's on a really good note. On a not so good note, right after we got married, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's B-cell lymphoma, and that was very shocking because I'm 42 years old and just got married and have 2 little kids, and as you can imagine, that's a pretty dramatic thing to have happen in your life. And without the support of people who have been in my life because of these small groups, my husband and I could not have gotten through it. In the midst of all that, we had to move just after I was diagnosed with cancer and in the hospital. A lot of those people really stepped up to the plate and did so much for us, provided meals, moved our entire house. I did not pack one single box. They gave us gift cards. One family in particular, Darren and Janet Shutt, had our kids live with them pretty much for 2 months on and off. And that, like, who does that? I mean, only people that just are there for you and love you and care for you. And, we can never thank them enough. And that, we had developed a relationship because of being in a small group with them. And so I don't know what we would have done without our small group. For me, when I look at it and I think about small groups, I think, people say, oh, well, I don't have time, or we're too busy to be in a small group right now. Well, make time. Because in my experience, you don't know what's around the corner. I didn't know what was right around the corner. And so the key for me when I think about having a group of people in your life that will be there through thick and thin, that is vital. And so if something happens tomorrow, that there are a group of people that you can call, and they will be there for you. And not only that, like, just amazing friendships that come out of it. The really close people in my life are those that I've been in groups with, and your relationship just grows and grows, and your kids grow up together, and you're part of a community that is growing together and doing life together. And sometimes that's social and fun and having a meal together, or going out for a meal together, or celebrating somebody's birthday. And sometimes it's also just getting through the really tough stuff in life, like cancer or step parenting or moving. And to me, that's relationships. Since I've been diagnosed with cancer, I have learned that all that counts in life is your relationship with God and your relationship with people. Those are the things that are important. And my relationships with people, because of small groups, are everything to me. And so how can you not be a part of a small group? How can you say you don't have time? You have time. You just need to, and maybe you need to reorganize things in your life to make time, but make time for a small group of people in your life to be close to pour into you, and to let them pour into you, to get to know, to grow spiritually, to socialize with, to laugh with, to cry with, to go through the crap of life together. That's what it's all about.
The day that